Okay, let's get back to our video and finish off this hot and sour soup. You can see on the chopping board here and the counter, I have laid out all the ingredients that we're going to put in the hot and sour soup, and they're all ready to go. So right here I have the pork bone that I've pulled out of there, and here I have a whisk, 2 eggs, I have some vinegar. This is a Chinese rice vinegar, but you can use regular vinegar too, as long as you're trying to get it hot and sour, so use some sort of vinegar. And I have the chili garlic sauce here. That was the only other ingredient that I didn't show in the other part of the video. And you can see over here the pot is boiling, and we're gonna skim that out, turn it down a little bit, and then we're gonna skim whatever foam is on there and season it. So let me see if I have this camera set right. I try and get it above the pot so you can see actually what's going on. And then we'll zoom in a little bit. Okay. So now that the broth has been skimmed out, we're going to put our ingredients in. You can drop these into the pot. And then the pork, you want to just put it in, but you spread it out with using your hand, and you can break that up later. Okay, so that's done. You can use your whisk to whisk it up. I've turned the fire or the heat back on to high. And now we're going to season this up. We're going to put like half a cup of vinegar. And this chili sauce is very hot, so I'm going to start with like 1 heaping teaspoon. And you can stir that in there. And different restaurants, they might use different things for the heat. Some places use just ground white pepper. And in any case, you have to season the soup also. So we're going to add some salt. I'd say for a half a stock pot of soup, you might need maybe 1.5 teaspoons of the salt. I usually just shake the salt in there and then I taste it. But remember, just don't overdo it. And then we're going to use the thin soy sauce, about 2 tablespoons, some sesame oil, a little bit of sesame oil, and you need the thick soy sauce to give it the color. About 1.5 tablespoons maybe. You add a little bit of that thick soy sauce at first and you stir it around, and you see the color on your hot and sour soup. And if it's not dark enough, you can add a little bit more. Always go light at first with any seasoning. And the important thing is to taste it, because you want the blend of the hot and the sour is important. And you'll see this time I used a half a cup of the dry cornstarch, because you have a lot of liquid that you're trying to thicken up. And if you've been to Chinese restaurants, you'll see they have the egg drop soup. This is the same concept. You want it to be the consistency of like an egg drop soup. You stir that in. And the last 2 ingredients you're going to add into your hot and sour soup are 2 eggs, which you're going to beat up. And I'm going to show you kind of you see that? You can see what the hot and sour soup looks like as you stir it up. The ingredients that go in there. lightly beat that egg. You don't want it completely scrambled. Just break up the yolk. And as that soup thickens up, you can see how thick it's getting. I added the entire contents of that mix. And right now I'm adjusting the color with the thick soy sauce. That's the color I want. And then the egg, you kind of like drop it in. And that's why they call egg drop soup has that name, because and then when you first add this egg to your soup, you don't stir it. You want to let it sit, or else because you don't want to break the egg up too much. And as that egg is like kind of forming in your soup, you can add in some scallions. And now you stir it gently. So you have like you want larger pieces of the egg in your hot and sour soup. And I'm going to ladle some up and show you what it looks like. You want to get some of all of your ingredients. And there you have it. Hot and sour soup made in your home. I hope you've enjoyed this lesson.